logistics and supply networks, and indeed also through the military and things like that, which makes them a little bit inaccessible. You won't be able to buy them over the counter, for example, or whatever. And I think there are also certain contracts, they're commercial contracts or whatever, that you're not allowed to just go and analyze the contents of the vaccines. I'm not sure. And even if somebody did analyze them, they'd have to prove that they analyzed the very vaccine that had come from, say, Baxter and Novartis or whatever. And then they'd have to find the police to go to, and they'd have to present all the evidence why they think this is dangerous and so on. So they'd be back to square one, really. And but that's a very viable option. If somebody comes across these vaccines and can analyse them and put it together a report, why not?
I've got to say that on the internet over the last few weeks, I've read of a lot of cases of microbiologists disappearing or being killed in extraordinary circumstances or dying very suddenly. And I don't know whether there's a connection, possibly, whether people who are in that field have possibly become aware of something. Do you think there's a chance that's the case?
Certainly it looks that way. I mean, there's a lot of trickiness going on. And one example is the US trials, clinical trials that are now being conducted on vaccines without adjuvant. So the 5 clinical trials to test this swine flu vaccine will not have the dangerous ingredient, the adjuvant. Now, who with any kind of conscience is going to go along with that, or else they're being pressured or threatened? And those who refuse to go along with that might well have been eliminated early on because they had inside knowledge. I don't have inside knowledge. I just put all the facts together. But maybe the people in the labs actually saw contamination taking place, saw the criminal activities within companies, and therefore had to be, eliminated.
Okay, so let me just get back to Amanda and Paul here on the sofa. Go to the police station, make a complaint. That's quite a confront for a lot of people. If people aren't prepared to do that, or contact their MP, if they're not prepared to do that, then the other option that you've discussed is letting their friends know about this. Is there some sort of easy, automatic way that they could do that?
It's just raised. It's almost easier, to be honest, to go to the police, because I've been trying, with my friends a lot, and people have this mental blockage that things like this don't happen. It's like, well, Hitler wrote in Mein Kampf, if you're going to lie, make it a big one, because people expect smaller lies and they'll inspect them. But if you come up with an outrageous lie, people just go, that never happened, that's ridiculous. If you go to the police with the evidence, it's not a scary experience, and it's quite...
You feel so much better afterwards. You get frustrated telling people, not repeating the same thing, but it's completely different. When you go and tell the police, you do feel like you've actually done something and passed it on. Obviously, still carry on doing the same other things as well in everyday life, but once you've gone and done that, that really is the biggest thing, the most important thing to do, definitely.
So, it could be that you save your family and...
Yeah. Tell your friends after you've gone to the police, Tell your friends that you've just come back from the police station, they took it seriously. Therefore, you won't spend 2 weeks trying to convince your friends. The facts will be there.
It's worthwhile. Claire, I think this is the same Claire who texted earlier. She said, where can we get this information? What website? I intend to go to a police station Monday the 17th.
Excellent, Claire.
Good.
Yeah.
So shall I read this website out again? It's www.theflucase.com. Is it all there yet? It's not.
No, it just went live today, so we need to upload documents to it.
So by Monday?
Yeah.
So Claire, by Monday, theflucase.com.
If anybody's on Facebook, or if you want to join, there's a Facebook group called Jane Burgermeister Enforce Vaccinations, and there's links to all the documents there.
Yeah.
I think Jane's documents are up on a site called Wake News. I don't know if that's still live.
Isn't there natural health?
They're all available on the Wake News website, whatever happens. So you can get them there, whatever happens. But we'll be transferring them to the new website in the next few days.
And weren't you also on Natural Health News or one of those websites, Natural Health?
Natural News?
Natural News. There's articles on Natural News explaining it, but the documents are on. If you want to give the full address of the Wake News website, maybe that's all the documents are definitely there.
Is that the Bird Flu 666 one?
No.
No. What's the address of the Wake? What's the full web address?
SCRIBD, is that the one?
I think it's to be honest, it's HTT. It's on my bird flu blog, the exact link to the Swiss documents. The problem was my blog started being hacked all the time, and I couldn't put in links. So somebody had a secure website in Switzerland has them all up there, and the exact address is in the bird flu blog under About Jane Burgermeister. If you click on that, you'll find a list of all the charges I filed and a URL to the Wake News website where all the documents can be downloaded.
So that's birdflu666.wordpress.com, yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So they're hacking in, so somebody's doing something to attack you, aren't they, Jane?
Well, I mean, the blog was a nightmare because of the continuous hacking. I couldn't put in links and I couldn't upload documents. And so I had to take this sort of, approach. And I'm very grateful now that this new website is up. It's just unfortunately only gone live today, so we still have to put all the documents onto it. But that won't take long because they're all there. It's just a question of uploading them.
Okay, I'm going to read a couple more texts here. Geordie, that was not Gordy, it's Geordie, says, are they trying to get rid of us before a mass awakening can happen? What do you think?
Looks like that way, doesn't it? And
Cass in Flintshire says, if agenda is profit, why kill everyone? There'll be no one left to generate profits.
They've got so much money anyway, and then when everyone's dead, they'll be seizing your property and everything.
That's the real money, isn't it? Property is
the
real money, because the other stuff is fiat currency. It's meaningless, isn't it?
And power. I mean, the people ultimately at the top of these, they own the central banks like the Federal Reserve. They can print all the money they want. It's not about money at the top of the chain,
Okay, Stevie says the Council of 300 runs the media, the military, the clergy, economics, medicine and education. How can the divided, racist and ignorant masses unite?
Through this issue. This is the issue that can awaken everybody. This is a concrete issue that we have to get the police involved in and arrest the Council 300 and anybody else who is associated with them. These people need to be arrested because it's been going on long enough now. They've been up to so much crime and they have got away with it every time, and they get bolder and bolder and bolder until we get to this point where, if this is true, they're just going, look at the stupid public, let's just get rid of them, finally.
So is this the end game, Paul?
I hope this is all not true, but I mean, looking at the evidence, it's an unavoidable conclusion to come to.
If they have the technology, apparently they have the ability.
They've certainly
it looks like they have the motive.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't talked about the Georgia Guidestones, have we?
Yeah, they put signposts up, as you say, hidden in plain sight. I mean, the Georgia Guidestones are a stone monument, they're about 20 feet high in Georgia, erected 10 or 15 years ago with a new version of the 10 Commandments, one of which is maintain population below 500 million.
That's for the entire planet?
For the entire planet,
And the population of the planet is, what, I keep hearing different figures.
It's 6.7 billion, isn't it?
Is that all? I thought it was a bit higher than that. No.
Maybe I think it's less than 7.
Okay, but, so 7 billion people down to 500
million. And that's not going to be, that's not going to be 500 happy people living on 100-acre farms. That's going to be 500 million microchipped obedient workers, with this rich elite, with, all the technology that they're keeping from us that could make this planet, paradise, literally. They want to steal our future, essentially, and get rid of us. And that's, unhappily, it seems to be the gameplay that's in play at the moment, and it needs to be stopped yesterday.
Yeah, well, this is an interesting text here. This is from Denise. She says, the government has been alienating people from the police for so long, we have forgotten that we can trust the police.
Certainly. That's exactly the point. The police are part of our community.
OK, Jane, we're going to finish in about 30 seconds, so do you want to have the last half a minute? Ooh. Jane, are you still there? I think, oh no, I'm getting signs we've lost Jane. So, Amanda, I think it must be you and Paul.
OK.
What do you reckon? Half a minute. Your appeal to the people.
Just please, please, please get familiar with Jane's charges. Please print them off, go to the police, tell everyone you can. And most of all, children going back to school, that's a lot, they're first in line, and it's just so wrong. Don't be pressurised by people saying you can't go to school unless you get a vaccine. That's all we've got time for. Thank you to everyone for watching our special 2-hour show. And for those who texted, and thanks to my very special guests, Jane Burgermeister, Amanda Blake and Paul Byrne. If you want to learn more about this subject, why not visit www.theflucase.com. If you've enjoyed this show, please tell all your friends. Next week, viruses permitting, we'll be back with yet another exciting show that might even change your life. Until then, remember, they're watching you, watching us, watching them. Cheerio.